Hello, dear students. Welcome to Hybrid Learning. So, today this is part 4 of the CBSE revision question answers. Okay, we are going to talk about the recent sample paper for CBSE Board 10. Now, as we know that the pattern has changed a bit, we have three sections now: section A, section B, and section C. Section A has biology questions, section B has chemistry questions, section C has physics questions. So in this part, we are going to talk about section B. As you can see that I have started from question number 17. So we'll talk about question number 17 to 25, which is mainly all the chemistry questions. Okay. So let's get started. So this comprise all the MCQ questions and assertion based questions. The marks have been written here in the side. Okay. So you can understand which question is of which marks and accordingly you can do it. I would request all the students to pause the video, check the question for yourself, try to do the answer, and then check the video so that you can understand yourself better. Okay, let's start now. Question number 17. Which of the following equations represent redox reactions and what are the values for P and Q in these equations? So if you can see Fe2O3 solid plus 2Al solid gives Al2O3 plus PFe plus heat. So now P is here, and for the next question, 2C4H10 plus 13O2 gives 8CO2 plus QH2. So we have to find out P and Q here. Okay. So if you can see here, this is iron is Fe2. So here definitely it will be 2. Now if you see for hydrogen, it is Q, and here we have 10 and this is 2. So that's 20. So here Q will come out to be 10. So my P is 2 and my Q is 10. As you can see, both the equations, they're obviously redox equations, right? So both the equations are redox and P is 2 and Q is 10. So your option will be option number D. Let's go to the next one. You have been given 4 statements about the reactions of oxides with dilute hydrochloric acid and aqueous sodium hydroxide. And then there have been options given. You have to choose that which statement is correct. Okay. First is aluminium oxide reacts with dilute hydrochloric acid and aqueous sodium hydroxide. Then calcium oxide reacts with dilute hydrochloric acid and aqueous sodium hydroxide. Zinc oxide reacts with both dilute hydrochloric acid and aqueous sodium hydroxide. Sulfur dioxide does not react with either dilute hydrochloric acid or aqueous sodium hydroxide. Now, from these options, you can see that aluminium oxide and zinc oxide, these two are amphoteric oxides. Now, the property of amphoteric oxide is it will react with both acid and base to give salt and water. So, it's very obvious that these two are correct. However, calcium oxide is, they will definitely not react with both of them. Sulfur dioxide also does not react with both of them because it's an acidic oxide. So option 1 and option 3 is correct. So this will be option number B as your final answer. Let's go to the next one. Iron main is added to 2 test tubes P and Q. So you have test tube P, you have test tube Q. So iron is added here with copper sulfate. And for the next one, iron is added with silver nitrate. So as you can understand, iron is more reactive than both of them. So it will definitely undergo displacement reaction and it will displace these from their respective solutions, right? So when iron will react here, it will form iron sulfate, which will form a brown coating. So in this case of test tube B, you can have a brown coating. In case of Q, iron when again react with this will form a silver precipitate. So silver coating in the test tube Q. So your correct option will be option number B. So both of them are undergoing displacement reaction. Methyl orange is added to dilute hydrochloric acid and to aqueous sodium hydroxide. What is the color change? This is a very direct question. Methyl orange is an indicator. Now, indicators are added which changes color in the respective solution to indicate whether it is an acid or a base. Now, methyl orange, when it is added to acid, gives the color red, and when it is added to a base, gives the color yellow. So, it's very clear that the option will be option number B. Which of the following substances when dissolved in equal volume in water will have the highest pH? Now understand, highest pH will only happen when you take base because more than 7 to 14, they are increasing basic character. So sulfuric acid and acetic acid, sulfuric acid, though it's a strong acid, its pH will be less, right? Because it's strong. Acetic acid, again, it's a weak acid, but still it's an acid. So these two will not give. Magnesium hydroxide, it's actually not, it is very sparingly soluble in water. Sodium hydroxide, however, is a very strong base. So definitely its pH will be highest among all of them. So the option will be option number D. Next one. When excess of carbon dioxide is passed through lime water, the milkiness disappears because it shows the milkiness because of an insoluble substance. The milkiness disappears because that insoluble substance turns to something soluble. So what is the insoluble something? It is called the calcium carbonate, which turns to water soluble calcium bicarbonate. So it's a very clear option number B. In the reaction of aqueous solution of barium chloride, so barium chloride with sodium sulfate. So what it will give? Definitely it will give sodium chloride as one of the product. Okay. Okay, now C4H8, C4H6, C4H10 are members of the same homologous series. Now if we take C4H10, so there is C4H10. So there hydrogen, 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 hydrogen. So C4H10 definitely is an alkane. As you can see here, all are single bond saturated. C4H6 if you take, or if you take C4H10, so this is, if I take C4H6, so this is 336. So definitely there is a triple bond, right? Otherwise there will not be, we cannot have this kind of configuration in single bond, right? Similarly for C4H8, again, it will definitely have a double bond, right? So they are the members of the same homologous series? No, absolutely not. They cannot be the members of the same homologous series because it's an alkene, alkyne, or ankane, right? So this is wrong. Now C4H8, C4H6, C3H4, C3H6, C2H2, C2H4 are unsaturated hydrocarbons. Now if you can see the configuration, these two we have already seen, and if you try to draw rest of them, you will see that all of them will either have a double bond or a triple bond, which implies that they are unsaturated, right? So definitely this is correct. So your assertion is false, but your reason is true. Okay. Now this has 2 mark, okay? Following activities set up by this in the science lab by the teacher. Clamped an aluminium wire on the stand and fixed a pin to the free end of the wire using wax. Then he heated the wire with a burner from the end where the wire is clamped. Students observed the pin fall off. If the teacher replaces aluminium wire with a silver wire, will the student's observation change? Justify your answer. Now, if you see here, this is the metal wire, this is the free end, this is the pin, and this is connected, right? Now, they are saying if now I replace aluminium wire with silver, then what will happen? Will the observation change? Yes, the observation will change because silver is a better conductor compared to that of aluminium. So definitely the pin will fall, but it will take less time for the pin will fall this time. Okay, this is your justification. Second part is, will the aluminium wire melt? Give a reason. Now, aluminium wire is a metal. Now, one of the property of a metal is that they have high melting and boiling point, right? So definitely aluminium wire is not going to melt. So what is the reason for your answer? You have to write this, that since aluminium is a metal, so it has high melting point. As a result, it will not melt. Okay. So we are going to talk about till here in this video. We are going to continue in the next part where we will discuss more questions from the same paper. I hope you understood the questions. Okay. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel and follow us for more such content. Bye bye. See you in the next video.